Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Catherine Smith and I'm just so excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. So today is day 6. I'm sorry, I have my notes. So today is day 6 of 29 days of soulfulness, which is 24 days of soulfulness. Um, I'll be 29 in 24 days. We started off at 29 days of selflessness, but I'll be 29 in 24 days. My birthday is on the 24th of my birthday is on the 3rd of April. I need to get it together. And I just wanted to do something to kind of let you guys know who I am. Like I said, my channel is about 100% transparency, and I just wanted to allow you guys in and to, you know, give you guys an overview of who I am and what it is that my channel will basically be about. So today, on day 6, we're going to be talking about allowing God to do his work. Allow God to do his work. I rededicated my life back to God in 2012. And for me, I just got to a point where I knew God, but I wasn't allowing him in. I wasn't allowing him in because I wasn't ready at that time in my life, or that period in my life. I wasn't ready to deal with everything that I was going to have to deal with. That was going to come with allowing him to come in and allowing him to do his work. I knew what was going to happen. I just wasn't ready for it. My t-shirt line, that's what basically my t-shirt line is about, you know, me surrendering to God and me telling God that I'm so fully yours, like my soul is fully yours. Because at the end of the day, we're souls walking in a temple, walking in earthly bodies. And for me, allowing God to do his work meant that I had to allow him in to clean up what was going on with me internally. Like I said, I've always knew that I was a beautiful woman. I always knew that I was an attractive woman, but I was tore up in the inside. I was a mess. Like, oh my God, I was such a mess. And not to even say that I'm not now. I'm not perfect now. But allowing him in, you know, I allow him to search my heart. That's something that I'm always praying about. I'm like, God, you know, I need you to search my heart and take out whatever is not yours. But with allowing God to do his work, you have to allow him in. Yes, you have to allow him in. But you have to prepare yourself for what's going to come in with allowing him to come in and to do his work. Allowing him to come in and allowing him to do his work, means that you're going to have to face those things that you didn't want to face. Those things that you kept swept up under the rug, or those things that you didn't fully deal with head on. You're going to have to deal with those things. You're going to have to confront those things. And for me, I was like, okay, I'm ready to do it, because I'm not, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this lifestyle anymore. I don't want to live the way that I'm living anymore. And so I just allow him in. I told God, you know what? Like I said, I surrender. I allow you in. I'm allowing you to go ahead and clean me up. Help me to forgive those people that has hurt me in the past. Help me to, you know, forgive things that I've done to myself in the past. What I allow people to do to me in the past, you know, help me to forgive those so that I can, you know my worth, and so that I can move forward with my life, and I still won't be holding on to those baggages. And when it's time for you to use me, and when it's time for me to walk into what it is you have for me, I won't be still holding on to that stuff, trying to bring it into the future with me, into the doors that you have for me. So allowing God to clean you up means that, you know, things that hurt you in the past, you know, things to where you were doing to suppress the pain that you felt, or to the things you were doing to suppress the emptiness, the voids that you had, whether it was from sex, whether it was from sex, whether it was from drinking, whether it was from smoking, whatever it was you were doing, you have to allow God to come in so that he can clean you up, and so that you can go back and forgive the old person that you used to be, so that you can move forward, and so that you can feel lighter when you're moving forward, and so that you can teach that next person how to allow God to come in and to clean them up. You know, I was once up under a pastor, and he told me, he said that when we don't deal with those things, it's like a rug. It's like a rug, and it's like you're sweeping it up, 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 and you're not dealing with it because you don't want to, because it could be too painful. It could just be too much, and you don't want to deal with it. So when you're constantly sweeping it up under there, what happens to a rug when you sweep a whole lot of dirt up under it? A whole lot of things that you don't want to be shown. What do it do? You do it and you do it and you do it, and what happens is you're going to have to keep coming to that bump. That bump. I know my little things that I'm doing. But it's like you're going to keep coming to that bump. You're going to keep coming to it, and you're going to have to keep hitting it. And it's like there's no way around it. You're going to have to deal with it. And once you start to sweep it out and you start to deal with it, and then it becomes smoother, and you can be able to walk over it. And you can look back over your life and say, you know what? It was nothing but the hand of God that was on my life. Nothing but the hand of God. Nothing but the works of God on my life. In the time of me not wanting to love who I was, in the time where I wasn't allowing him to be all that he is to me now, when I was back there in the world, when I was back there doing things my way and trying to figure it out by myself. It gets so much better, and for me, it was like so much weight was lifted. When I allowed God in to do his work, when I allowed him to clean me up internally, it was just like a woosah kind of moment, because like I said, I didn't want that life anymore. And not to say that I'm perfect now, because I'm not. It's still things that I'm allowing him to clean up on me now. And I spent so much time with God. So much time. I mean, I was crying out. I was on my face. I wanted to be a better me. I wanted to let go of those things that was tormenting my mind, from things that happened in my past, and from guys that has done me wrong, or for guys that I allowed to do me wrong, or the things that happened between my mom and my father. It was just so much that just tormented my mind. And I just wanted to get to a place where I was in a clean, like I was just in a sound mind space. And in order for me to get in that sound mind space, I had to allow God to do his work. And I spent so much time with God. I was reading, I was praying, I was on my knees, I was seeking his face. That's why I am who I am in God right now. That's why I'm such a strong woman of God now, because I put in my work. And with me putting in my work, I allowed him to do what it is he needed to do, so that I can heal from the things that was keeping me bound, and from the things that was just keeping me so dormant. I had to allow God to do his work, but I had to first welcome him in. It's one thing, we can go around and say, you know what, I'm allowing God to do his work. I'm allowing him to do his work. But you have to welcome him in. You have to welcome him in, meaning that you have to pray. Your prayer life, you have to get a prayer life with God. You have to. If I don't say anything else, that is the number one thing, us as human beings, that's one thing we need to have with God, is a prayer life, especially if you're wanting him to come in and to clean you up internally, inside, because we all can dress our outside up. We all can. We can all make it look good. We can put some lipstick on. We can do our hair, whatever. But when it really comes down to the nitty gritty, are you able to say, you know what? I welcomed God in. And even though I was so ugly on the inside, because some people aren't ready to face that ugliness. Not ready to face the ugliness of how they used to be towards people, or, how selfish they really are, and, how they don't want to do certain things. Some people don't want to do that. And it's okay. But you really have to prepare yourself. When you're allowing God to come in and to do his work, you really have to prepare yourself for what it is he's going to bring you to. for what it is he's going to bring you to, just know that it's going to be the best cleanup ever. Because for me, it was the best cleanup ever. You know, there were things that happened to me in my childhood, and I never told my mom, and I was just sitting there like, okay, God, why are you bringing me back to these things that has happened? Like I thought I have forgave those things, but I didn't. There's a difference between me pushing it to the back of your there's a difference between pushing it in the back of your mind and actually dealing with it and forgiving it. Because for me, I just pushed it back in my mind, and I would go back and I would ponder on certain things, or I would ponder back on certain conversations, and I'll just be like, man, that really hurt me, and I wish this wouldn't have said this, or I did this, or but when I learned that I had to forgive those thoughts and I had to forgive those people, it put me at so much peace to where now I don't even think about it. And if I do, I'm like, Lord, I thank you. I thank you for keeping me in the times to where I wasn't in my right mind. But like I said, you just have to allow God to do his work internally. And I mean, with allowing him to do his work internally, you have to put in your time. Put in your time with God. Don't let nobody stop you from putting in your time with God. Because your time with God is going to be the time of your healing and your restoration, of him going in and taking out, unhardening your heart, basically, to people and to certain things. And he's going to let you see life and people in a whole different aspect. He's going to help you to see that, okay, that person, they did me wrong. And to this day, they still are doing me wrong. But I know that it's not them that's doing it. It's something going on with that person. It's something that happened to them, or it's something that they're not happy with right now at this point in their life. It allows you, when you allow God in to help you to do his work within you internally, it allows you to see other people that has not quite put in the work, that has not quite put in the time that you've put in with God, if I'm making any sense for you. But say, for instance, you have a sister that's always at your neck, always at your neck, always at your neck, and you can't understand why. Like you do everything they ask, and you're just a nice person to them. But you have to understand that when a person or that sister is lashing out to you like that, it's not them. It's because of what it is they have going on, and they haven't allowed God to come in and do what he needed to do. Everybody's not going to be where you are. So, excuse me, I just hope that this today, if I can encourage you, I would want you to just allow God in. Give him permission to come in. Give him permission to come in, and give him permission to go ahead and do what he needs to do. Allow him to do his work. Allow him to clean you up. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. The future you deserves it. Deserves for you to allow God in now and for him to do his work. Put in your time with God. Put in your time. I'm not talking about just going to church. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about you singing in a choir. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you putting in your work. You getting down and dirty with God. Allowing him in so that he can do what it is he needs to do. So that you can get rid of the things that are keeping you bound. I mean, cry out to him. Lay on your face. Get you a prayer closet. Do something. Put in your time with God, because when you allow God to do his work and you put in your time, he's going to have you stand up so boldly for him. And he's going to have you in a place to where you're standing up so boldly for yourself, and you're not allowing people to walk over you. You're not allowing people to treat you the way that they would have treated you a long time ago, before you allow him to do his work. If you allow him to do his work, you're going to do it stand up for yourself in a way that he's going to be proud of. You're going to You're just gonna be so strong in God to where certain situations you're gonna know, you know what, I gotta take this to my Father. I have to go into prayer about it. I have to allow Him to help me with this situation. You know how to do certain situations. You know how to take care of certain situations. You know how to go about certain situations because in a way it matures you in a way. It matures you when you allow God in and you allow Him to do His work to where it's just you and God. When you're starting to come against certain situations and certain people, it puts you in position to where you can go and you can actually, you know what it is you need to do from there on. Whether it's you need to go and pray for that person or you need to pray that He comes in and He fix whatever it is the problem is that you're having. You value yourself more. When you allow God to do His work, there it goes. When you allow God to do His work, you learn to value who you are more. You appreciate who you are more. You understand who you are more as a person, as a mother, as a wife, as a husband, whatever. You value who you are more once you allow God in and you allow Him to do His work. So I urge you on today, please, just if you're struggling with it, just go ahead and allow Him in. Welcome Him in. Welcome Him into your heart. Welcome Him into your life and allow Him to do His work. Know that He's doing His work so that He could take you to a better place and so that you could be in a better place mentally, spiritually, physically. Just allow God to do His work and watch what happens. So, you guys, I truly appreciate it once again for you guys tuning in with me on my day 6 of 29 days of soulfulness. We're actually 24 days until soulfulness. And I just truly appreciate you, and I hope that you allow God in. I hope that you accept Him in so that He can go ahead and do His work within you and so that you can be the best version of you, possibly, period. But I need you to go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace and blessings.